Hi, I'm Amy Jones-Timoney, and I am with UK Marketing and Strategic Communication, and I am here with UK President Eli Capilouto. Thanks for being with us.
Amy, always great to be with you. We did one of these walks years ago, and it seems like we've maintained our reputation as a permanent construction site.
I definitely think we have. Well, today we're going to take a look at some of the newer spots on campus and ones that are about to open. Right now, we're starting in the Martin-Gatton Agricultural Sciences building. Did I get that right?
You got it right.
Okay, so tell us about this space.
In this particular building, largely academic services, some research, but it's where our students can gather with one another, with faculty. There's food here, that people can break bread together is important. This expansion of what we do on this end of campus doesn't stop here. Next door to it, we have a new cafe, ag-focused research building. Uniquely, the greenhouses will be on top. Investigators don't have to leave to conduct their research. But agriculture is still such an important part of Kentucky. Our economy, our traditions, our history. And it's important as a food supply, the climate's important. All those factors that come together in terms of conducting the research to preserve and advance Kentucky on those fronts will be taking place in that building, right next to this academic building. And then we're reopening Scovell Hall, more towards the center of campus. It was one of the first ag buildings, housed a lot of our extension work, and the things you'll find there are the parts of agriculture that lean into the health side of things. Nutrition, programs we have like food as medicine, those kinds of collaborations. Everything we've tried to do in modernizing our campus is to bring people together, build community, places where people look forward to gathering every day, where I like to say, you're going to have a great chance of meeting people from all 120 counties, 50 states, over 100 countries.
When you walk through this, it's kind of hard not to think about Mr. Gatton, right? I mean, you talked about the impact he's had all over campus. How does that feel as you walk through this building?
I've always overwhelmed with a sense of gratitude, fond memories. He cared deeply about students. I consider Mr. Gatton's giving to be selfless, because as I would tell him when he was alive, you're not going to see all the beneficiaries who are going to be impacted by your generosity, and they're not going to see you. But you're giving for the future of Kentucky.
Well, I think that is a fitting way to end this part of our tour here in the Martin-Gatton College of Agriculture, Food and Environment Agricultural Sciences building. We are now going to head over to another part of South Campus and check out a new residence hall for students.
Let's go.
So we have made our way to another part of South Campus, UK's newest residence hall. Tell me a little bit about Kirwan-Blanding Hall, the new Kirwan-Blanding Hall, as we kind of walk around here.
This is our 15th residence hall built through a public-private partnership. And the reason we've continued to do this, number one, we have excess demand, more than we ever thought. We have more and more students in our first year class who want to live on campus. It's purely voluntary, but we have more and more of our returning students that want to live on campus. Research shows that when you live on campus, your likelihood of being a successful student increases. So we can understand that. It's also our 15th residence hall through a public-private partnership, because these partnerships bring in expertise we don't necessarily have in terms of design, construction, and so forth, working in partnership with us. It's an over 200,000 square foot building, over 600 beds, very nice, tasteful rooms, places to learn and gather as a community. And what surrounds us are more residence halls. Since we have excess demand now for our recreation facilities, we're expanding our Johnson Center. We have more people, faculty, staff, and students on campus. So again, this is a remarkable place. There are only 8 or 9 campuses in the country that have arrayed on a contiguous campus this disparate set of disciplines which are so important in this day and age. Any challenge we have to solve is never solved by one discipline, limited perspective. It takes teamwork. And learning to be part of a team when you're a student, when you're an employee, when you're a faculty leader and an administrator, to me, is more conducive when you can gather. I know we use a lot of keyboard touches to communicate today, but to me, there's nothing more effective than being together in person. And that's what these spaces are about.
Absolutely, that's a really good point. And I think a good segue to our next stop, which is the Rankin Health Education Building, which for students who are living here and are interested in the health fields, it's going to be great for them. So let's go check it out.
Let's go.
Well, we have made our way to a very active construction site here, the Michael Rankin Health Education Building. As we kind of walk through this construction, which again, you can see people still working here, tell me a little bit about what this building is going to mean for students and really the whole state.
Well, walking a site like this is inspiring for several reasons. We dream of a Kentucky that is healthier, wealthier, and wiser tomorrow than it is today. Unfortunately, in Kentucky, we suffer from too many health misfortunes. So we have to get better at preventing disease, we have to get better at treating disease, we have to have the capacity to treat, and what does it take? It takes integrated disciplines. So this building, over 500,000 square feet, made possible because of the General Assembly of Kentucky on behalf of all Kentucky citizens. Also, like most of the things we do, depends on philanthropy, and in this case, Dr. Michael Rankin. Dr. Rankin cares deeply about health, especially in rural Kentucky. This building will house 4 colleges focused on health. Public health, which can treat and prevent disease community-wise and customized at an individual level. A College of Health Sciences, physical therapy, all the disciplines you can imagine that come together under that broad aegis. Our College of Medicine and our College of Nursing. Today, if you've interacted with the healthcare enterprise in any way, especially if you or a loved one has a complicated disease, you certainly recognize that you're treated by multiple disciplines. Well, isn't it important that they train together? We're going to have simulation centers here so that all these students from all these different disciplines learn together, have experiential learning situations where they work as a team, and this new facility is going to make that possible at levels unimagined before.
Well, I know that this building is incredibly impressive from the outside and now even on the inside with this view, but we also have a lot of other construction projects on the medical campus. Just had a topping out ceremony. Talk a little bit about that particular project that's really going to help cancer patients, some of the sickest patients in the state.
It is another facility that is around 500,000 square feet. We are the only National Cancer Institute recognized comprehensive cancer center in the state. Well over 50% of the new cancers in Kentucky make their way to the Markey Cancer Center. So here in this new facility, under one roof, will be the vast array of faculty, staff, clinicians that come together to provide excellent cancer care.
And there will be even more construction sites on this side of campus too, right? With the tower expansion.
So we are building another tower to replace beds and add beds. It'll be next to what we call today Pavilion A. It'll be across the street from the Cancer Advanced Ambulatory Facility. Patients need easy access, a new parking deck, 2 of them really, to accommodate faculty, staff, clinicians, and patients. So all that, you'll be seeing some more cranes on our campus in the next few years.
Well, thank you so much for taking us through this awesome new space. We've covered a lot of ground so far, but we have one more stop to make over on the core of the UK campus. Let's go. We have made our way to the core of campus and to, I think, what many people would consider kind of the anchor of this area, Whitehall Classroom Building, which they're doing some final touches on right now. Tell me a little bit about this building and its importance to campus.
When I meet graduates, many of them reflect back on their time learning from the best, our faculty in the Whitehall building. It needed updating in a dramatic way. I'm forever grateful to the General Assembly. They have funds they make available so that we can modernize spaces like this, from the technology that has been greatly enhanced to the configuration of the classrooms. So I'm thrilled about what I know is going to be stunning in the way of enhancing the excellent job that our faculty already do in preparing this next generation, where the acceleration of learning, the use of technology, integrating those. And if we look at this space where we are now, you can see that through an entire class, quite different than traditional classrooms used to be, which had parallel rows. You were looking only at the faculty member. Here, you're looking at one another. You're interacting. It invites that. Mm-hmm. And you learn a lot from your faculty. They learn from you, and you learn from each other. I hope some of our alumni, when they return on weekends to go to things like football games and all, will come this way and take a look at what their tax dollars have meant in the way their children and their children's children are going to be able to be impacted with what I think is a stepping stone to lifetime learning.
Absolutely.
Because of how they started at the University of Kentucky.
And the asset preservation, you mentioned a little bit about that. That's been really important to this project, right?
Exactly. We are the oldest and largest campus in Kentucky, and the state assesses us in terms of what spaces need updating. And this space, our College of Education now, some funds for Scovell Hall. So we're deeply grateful for those investments. When I was recruited to the University of Kentucky, I had what I thought was just an overly proud alum say to me, the University of Kentucky is the greatest force for progress in Kentucky. And I had some doubts about that profound statement. But after being on this campus for 15 years, seeing the investments made by our state, by our generous donors, innovative public-private partnerships, planning, design that incorporated the views of students, faculty, and staff, to see how we've been able to reimagine the campus. That person who told me we were the greatest force for progress, you know what? They were right. And I get to see it every day. It's a deeply moving experience to live on campus and to walk it often.
Well, I think that is a great way to end our campus walk today and to kind of look forward to the future, to this next academic year. Thank you for taking us along today. We really appreciate it.
Always a delight for me, Amy. I love construction sites and especially ones that are being completed.
Absolutely. Well, if you want to learn more about our campus, you can click on the campus tour video on your screen and be sure to follow us and to subscribe to the University of Kentucky YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.